going on. So in this one we're going to talk about a bit about paragraphs. Okay, there is a couple of things to note about paragraphs. Yeah, we actually talked about them in the last couple of videos, but there's a lot of things also notice about paragraphs, and we're going to talk about those. Let me just first create a simple paragraph. This is a simple paragraph, just like that. And if I save this and go right here, I'm gonna type the name. I'm gonna type the name of my file. You can see right here that we have this paragraph. You notice that we also have this space right here. Every time you create a paragraph or a heading, it adds a margin at the front and a margin actually from everywhere. Okay, front, bottom, like left and right. Okay, so this is basically the first thing to note about paragraphs. The second thing is, if I try to type another paragraph, let's say this is paragraph, and if I try to make spaces just like this, we're just trying out, we don't need to make any sense of the content, and I've tried to close it, and let's say what that will give us. Do we have to see these spaces, or it will just go ahead and remove these spaces? If I try and refresh this one, you can see right here that we don't actually have the spaces, and this is basically how paragraphs act. Okay, you cannot just leave spaces like this and it will just parse it out as it is. No, it will remove the spaces right away. Even if I go like this, like a new line, if I go and refresh, you can see nothing actually happening. So what if we need to go to a new line with this one right here? What do we need to type to get a new line? We need to type another tag, which is the BR tag, which gets you a new line. So this is paragraph 1, this is paragraph 2, and this is paragraph 3. Okay, just for you to go ahead and refresh and just save this. Go ahead and refresh. You can see right here that we have, this is paragraph 1, this is paragraph 2 in the second line, and the same line, this is paragraph 3. Okay, let me try just one more. This is paragraph let's say 4, 5. Let me add another BR right here, and this is paragraph 6. I go ahead and refresh this one right here, you can see that all of these guys are in the second line. Okay, let me just show you what we'll have if we have more than one BR right here. It will just give us a space right here. Okay, so this is basically how the BRs works, or the BR tags work. Okay, it just gives you a new line. Okay, and this is of course really useful when trying to write something and get it to a new line. See this on the web every day. So yeah, and there's also another tag I want to show you, which is also a tag that doesn't have any closing tags, which is the HR tag. And the HR tag basically just adds a new horizontal line. Okay, but you can see this line, it just to separate some text from the other, or some content from the other. If we go ahead and refresh this one, you can see right here we have this line right here, this black thin line, and let me just copy these guys right here and go ahead and type another HR. I know it just looks a little messy. These guys, this will be 7, will be 8, and the last one is 9. Go ahead and refresh. You can see that we have this HR line right here. So this is basically it about the paragraphs. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one, and see you in the next video. Hello guys, and what's going on? So in this one we're gonna talk about something that's really interesting, which is the style property. Okay, and the style property basically performs some style or some design on your HTML, and it's primarily concerned with CSS, which is a style or a design language. And of course it's not a programming language, it's just a cascade style sheet programming language. Okay, so we actually have 3 ways to write CSS in our HTML. We can use the style property as I am gonna show you in this video, or we are gonna use or we are gonna do like an what do you call it, a style right here. Maybe it's actually in the head, not in the body. A style tag like this, and we can write our CSS right here, or we can actually do like we can write our CSS externally. Okay, we gonna just type in link, and we are gonna just link this to our external CSS file. Okay, but I'm gonna show you both of those guys in the next couple of videos. Today we're just gonna take a look how to use the style property. Okay, so just to recap, we have the style property, internal style tag, and the external fine link for using our CSS in our HTML. Okay, got it? Okay, so now we only gonna just write style. Just we need to perform some design on this paragraph right here, and of course as any attribute in HTML, we only have to write the attribute and the equal sign and the two of these guys right here, which is a double quotes. Okay, and let's say we have like a lot of like a large amount of style and properties and stuff that we can actually do on this single paragraph right here. And CSS is a huge language, and design on the web is actually a big deal. Okay, it's not just of course limited to CSS, it's limited to JavaScript and so on. Okay, there is so much you can do, but here is the formula, or here is the framework of doing it. So here you have the property, column, and the value of this property. Okay, so this is basically how to write styles right here. Okay, we need the property, and we need the column and the value of this property. Let's say our property, it's gonna be the color. We need to set a color for this. Sorry about that. Then we need to set a color for the paragraph right here, and the value, let's say we want to set this color to blue. All right, so this is basically it, and we can add a semicolon right here. We don't actually have to do a semicolon just because we only have one style, but if we have more, we can go ahead and add a semicolon, or it will just not show up, and I'll just show you this in a minute. Okay, so if we actually save this and go back right here to our previous page and refresh, you can see that right here we have the design. If I go and inspect on this one, okay, whatever you inspect, it will just gonna get you right away. If I inspect it on this one, see, it's gonna give me the second paragraph, but I need this one. You can see right here that the style is color blue, and we actually have the blue color right here in the style tab. Okay, we can write our CSS actually here. Okay, so this is basically how you perform the style attribute, the style attribute right here on this paragraph. Okay, we can actually do a couple more. Let's say we need to go now. Let's do it. There's no there's no headings right here. Let's just do a heading. Let's do an h2. Hello guys, and we need to close this tag, and we need to add our style attribute, and we now can add a font size, font dash size. Okay, and we can add this actually yeah, it's okay, we can do a font size, it's fine, and we can set it for 25 pixels. Okay, we're gonna do this one with pixels. I know like a lot of things seem weird and you don't understand everything, but this is actually not a CSS course, it's just an HTML course. But if you have to learn HTML, you have to touch just even a little bit on CSS. Okay, we are gonna do this one with pixels, and it's only 25 pixels. Actually, let's just delete it right now, and let's see our heading without a property. You can see right here, it's hello guys. Okay, so if we need to go back and save this and refresh, you can see that it's actually got bigger. And if you don't see it, we can just copy this right here and add a semicolon right here and just paste it right away. Okay, so if you need to add more than one, you're gonna have to do a semicolon, and it just goes on and on and on. Okay, we can add a semicolon right here, and we can write another property and value. If now we refresh, now it's on this one. You can see right here that it's actually got bigger, and we can click, can double click on this 25 pixels right here, and you can use your arrows to make them smaller, make them bigger, you know, whatever you want. So this is basically it. I believe I can even add some style to the body, and we can of course do that by using the style right here. And this one is gonna be background, and of course this is gonna snap all the background and add a color to it. And you can see right here that we actually have some recommendations, clip, color, image. Yeah, it's actually there is a lot of them, but we are gonna go for the color and the value. Let's say it's gonna be a little hideous, but I will just, you know, I'll just have to do it. We can set it to green. Okay, so this is basically the property, this is the value. So if I refresh this, you can see that all the body now is green. Yeah, I know it looks really bad, so let me actually delete it. Okay, so you don't hurt your eyes. All right, so this is how basically you do the style. So it's really easy and simple, and as I said, don't be afraid if you don't know if you don't understand everything. You don't actually have to understand everything. I'm just touching on CSS, showing you how to do style, how to do these things, and I'm gonna explain a bit about CSS in the next couple of videos. So this is just for you to get a glimpse of what the style attribute is, and see you guys in the next video. Hello guys, and what's going on? So in this one we are gonna discuss something that's really simple. which are text formatting. And text formatting elements are basically some tags or elements that are used to display text in a certain way, or to format text in a certain way. Actually, you're not gonna use them this much, because if you want to format a text or you want to make a text appear a certain way, you're just gonna have to use CSS, which is the popular way, I would say. But you know, it's not a bad topic to learn or to discover, but this is just my observation. I've been coding for years now, and I actually use them very little. Okay, so we have these four guys right here, which is B for bold and strong, okay, and the I for italic and small. And we are gonna see how these guys are gonna format our text right here. So the first one is the B, and let's say this is bold, and the closing tag. That's basically it. If we refresh this one, you can see now this is bold right here. And of course, if we can actually add a paragraph here, you can just do your nested elements, whatever you like, but at the end it's gonna be like the last one right here. The closest tag is the one who's gonna be performed. Okay, refresh this, you can see right now this is bold. Okay, if we go for a second one, which was strong, this is strong text. We're gonna close this one and refresh. You can see that right here, this is a strong text. Okay, they're actually really similar, as you're seeing right now. And the last one is I for the italic. It's gonna display the text in an italic form, which is just a certain way of designing your text. This is italic, and if you probably like have some office knowledge, if you do stuff with your like Microsoft Word or stuff like that, should be really coherent or logical for you. If now I refresh this, you can see that our text is displayed in this way. This is italic. Okay, and of course we have the last one, which is small. Okay, I know the page looks a little messy, but we don't need to create another file just for those 4 elements. This is really small. And save and refresh. You can see that right here, this one is actually smaller than this one, and we're not actually using any CSS. It's all just certain elements right here. And if we, all right, so see you in the next video. Do this in Sublime. I don't know if it's gonna be different for any other editors. You can basically just do this and go, but this is gonna like, see how it's taking us so much time, you know, to do it. How about we have like 1,000 line right here, and we want to comment all of them. You're just gonna go down 1,000 lines, and so it's gonna be like really slow. If I refresh these guys right here, and they're basically gone. So what if I want to go back, Control Z, and I want to like comment these whole guys with just using extensions. Okay, I can go like this, and the Control and the backslash, and this is basically how you comment these guys. Decomment, comment, Control and slash again. Okay, you just do it and it's gonna work right away. So it's gonna be different. I guess it's different for some editors, but it's Sublime this way. You can see right here that we have nothing as a body right here, everything just commented. Okay, so this is basically it for comments. It's really simple, and you're gonna use them. Of course, you're gonna use them surely, and see you in the next video. Hello guys, and what's going on? So this tutorial is gonna be really useful for you if you're gonna be a web designer, or if you want to learn CSS, you know. So this one should be really interesting, and we're gonna talk about CSS. A CSS is basically a design language. It's not a programming language. Okay, we use CSS to design our page, to do the coloring, spaces between the elements, stuff like that. And it's basically stands for cascading style sheet, or cascade style sheet. All right, so let me paste just this my text right here, and yeah, I created this file right here, css first.html. You can set it to whatever name you want, and I just had my own paragraph right here. So actually nothing new. So with CSS, you can control the color, font, the size of text, the spacing between elements, how elements are positioned and laid out, what background images or background colors are to be used, different displays for different devices and screen sizes. So this is what you can do with CSS. CSS is actually a magic, a superpower when it comes to designing. Right now there's some modern stuff that can make your design cool and beautiful, interactive animations. So it's really cool. All right, hope that makes sense. So in this one, I'm going to show you how to write CSS in the 3 different main known ways. The first one we've talked about with the style attribute, before in the last or the previous couple of videos. We talked about the style attribute and how to use it to design stuff. And in this one, we're going to talk about the internal, which is actually the internal CSS, which can be written inside the style tag, and the style tag only can be written in the head right here. And the external way, which is going to be in an external CSS file, and I'm going to show you how to create this file and how to link it to your HTML right here. All right, so just to start off, we're going to use the style attribute. And yeah, I know this is going to sound a little repetitive, but I just want to show you how to use it, and actually if we did this three ways in the same time, which one is going to take effect. So for the style right here, I'm just going to set the property of color, and I'm just showing you a dummy example. Okay, we don't need to go fancy and create a whole style page, or we don't need to design anything fancy right here. So this is, I'm setting my color right now to red. Okay, so if I just go and save this and just go to my file right here and refresh this, yeah, we actually have this one. I guess we don't need this right here, so I'm gonna comment it, and this is where you can use your comment. So it's now gonna show up. Sorry. So we have right here, this one is in red. So this is basically how you use a styling attribute, style attribute, and we've talked about this before. And we are gonna go to the next one, which is the internal way, which comes with the style tag. And the style tags, you can write it in the head. It's one of those elements that you can write in the head. And now if I go style, and of course needs an ending or closing tag. Okay, if now Now the framework to write the style for the paragraph right here, it's really simple. You need to specify the element right here, or the tag that you want to do your style on, or you can actually choose an ID or a class, and these are basic attributes and we haven't talked about them yet, so I'm not gonna use them here. Okay, I'm gonna talk about them in the next couple of videos. So we're just gonna have to use the element right here, and after the element we're gonna do our brackets, open them, and we need a property and the value, as you may guess. So it's basically just like the style attribute, but it's different. We need the element itself right here, and we need these guys right here. Okay, so for this one, my element is B. I just go and to copy this, and my property, let's set this one to let's set it to color, and let's see what's gonna happen. And the value, let's set it to yellow. Yeah, just like that. So if I go ahead and let's save this, you can see if I refresh this one, you can see that actually nothing happens. So why this is happening? Because the last one, or the one that will override them all, is the inline way right here. Okay, in the style right here. This is gonna override the other two methods. So if I go ahead and just remove this one, or actually remove the whole thing, just like this, and save, refresh, you can see right here our text right here is getting the yellow color, because it just read this. That actually happens when we try to execute our HTML file, like the interpreter or the engine just goes off from top to bottom and applies and applies every line. So it gets right here and sees the style and overrides all the styling that's going on right here. Okay, so if I go ahead and I want to do another property and value, let's set this one for background color. It's right here, and if I set this, I know it's gonna look really ugly, but if I set this to black, I know my page will look really ugly. If I refresh right here, you can see that we have actually the background whole as a whole in just black. So as you've seen right here, it's so simple. You just have to add these semicolons right here, and you can't leave it for the last one. But if you have to write another property and value, you'll have to write it. Okay, just like here. So this is basically for the internal with the style tag. Now, what if we want to perform our own external file? Sometimes you will have to write a lot of CSS, and you can just use the style right here. This will get like take a lot of space, so you can actually write your own style in another file right here and link this style in this page right here. So how to basically do this? So I just commented this one, and if I go ahead and create a file right here for our design, you can call this style.css. You can call it whatever you want, okay, but I just like to call it style. It's a convention between programmers, I guess. So I'm gonna also define this as a CSS style file, because of course the CSS, it all makes sense. So if I were to save this, you can see that we have our CSS, that's style.css right here, and you can't write any HTML here or anything here. You only just have to write your own CSS. So if I were to go ahead, and this is like my file right here, let's say I only have the paragraph right here. Let's create another element, which is gonna be h1 hello from heading 1. Okay, if I were to close this, okay, and we want to perform our CSS on this one. So what's basically gonna happen is the same thing that happened here. We only just gonna have to go to our CSS style. Okay, we are gonna write our element. Let's say it's h1, and we are gonna perform whatever we want, like inside our brackets right here. So we need a property and we need a value. Now for the property, let's say let's use color. Okay, and for the color I'm just gonna use blue. If now I were to save this one and go ahead and refresh, you can see that actually nothing happens right here. So why is that? Because we didn't actually link our style.css file to our css first.html file. So how to do this? And as I said, like in the first couple of videos, if we like the css files we need to link will go right here in the head tag. Okay, so how to basically do this? We're just gonna open our tag right here, write in link, and this is the tag. Okay, and we need our property, which is gonna be real, is a relation, and the relation is style sheet, and we need like the path for this file, which is href, which is hypertext reference. Okay, and we need to close these guys right here, and we need the name of our file, which is style.css. So and just close this one, and it doesn't have a closing tag. It's one of these elements. So this is basically how you do it. The relation, the real here stands for relation, and this is a style sheet. This is like, you know, the main point of this link. We're telling the link that what we need to get is a style sheet from this one, and the href is like the path for the folder. Okay, the reference of the folder. Okay, so if we were to save this and refresh now, we can see that our color right here has applied. If we go ahead to our CSS file and set this to green, refresh this one right here, we can see that it's now actually turning to green. So this is basically for the external file right here. And if we need to do like one for the paragraph, if we go ahead and just can do this, and for let's do a font size right here, we can see 30 pixels, and save this, go back right here. Okay, we refresh this, you can see now it's a little bigger than before. So this is basically it. So now if I go back to my HTML file right here, and if I were to go and add a style for this one, okay, and add a color, and let's say this color is what is the last color? Yeah, I didn't actually add any colors for the paragraph. So what if I were to choose blue for this one right here? It's actually gonna affect this color right here. But if I were to go right here and just implement a font size for this one, so I just need to add a semicolon right here and just copy and paste this. Let's keep this one for about 40, or let's keep it just 50. Okay, and save this and just refresh it again. You can see right here it's actually the one that's taking effect is this one right here, and I can actually confirm that in multiple ways. I can add a color right here for this one, and I can set this one to green right away. It's okay, it's fine. Yeah, if I were to refresh this, it's not actually going, or it's not actually like taking effect. The one that's taking effect, the method like the attribute style right here, because this is the last one which will override all of these guys right here. So I know this one was a little long, but it was a good way to explain how CSS is written, how it works, and all of that. So this is basically it, and sorry if the video is long, guys. I'm sorry about that, and see you on the next video. Hello developers, and what's going on? So in this one we are going to talk about links, and links are basically just anchors, or just a way for the user to move around in your website, or to go on other websites, or to go to certain pages on your website. Okay, and it's basically really important. Okay, no page or no website that doesn't have any links. Every website gotta have links. Okay, so we're just gonna take a look at those today. So if I comment these guys out, I'm still in my css first.html file, and if I were to go and create a link, we're just gonna type the E, which stands for an anchor, and I'm gonna do the href, which we've been using right now, equals and double quotes, and the link of the website. Let's say I want to go to, let's say I want to go to something like LinkedIn. Okay, we're just gonna copy the link, and of course this can be any link you want. And if I were to go close this one, and now I need a content because it's needs a closing tag. Let's say my link, and close this one like this. And if I were to save, now go back and refresh this one, I only have my link right here, and if you can see right down there, there is some link that appears. Go back right here, yeah, and it's LinkedIn link. So if I were to go and click it, it will just take me back to LinkedIn. So this is basically it for links. But what if I want this link to be redirected, or to be open in a new tab like this? Okay, I don't need to go every time and just click right click on it and just click like this. I want to just click it just like this and go to another tab right here, and this one is going to be achieved by the target link. Okay, so target is basically which allows you to boot your link back to another tab. And we can do self, and self is basically the default value. It will just keep it like in the same link as we're doing it. But what if we need to move to another tab? We need to use blank. Okay, like this. And if I save this one, refresh right now, if I click it, you can see right here, just opens right away in another new tab. So yeah, this is target. It's really useful. Okay, I have also another attribute I want to talk about, which is the title. If I were to go to the title, and let's say this is my normal link. If I were to refresh this and go back right there, and if I hover over it, you can see that we have our little, oh yeah, we have our little tooltip, or a little message that appears right here on when I hover over my link. So yeah, you can of course to tweak this as as you want or as you like. And what if we go back to our href and we want to go to another file right here, to one of these files right here? We can actually do this by only writing the name of the file. So it's pretty simple. Let's say we want to go to the index.html, and you can see right here we have the index right here in the same folder. And if we were to just save this and refresh it, we now click, it will just open the index right away in another page. Okay, we can actually try paragraphs. Okay, just right here, and we can set this to self, so it will open in just the same, page. Okay, no new tabs. We refresh, click right now, and you can see right here that we are getting our paragraphs .html file. Of course, you can link to any file you want, but if you link to CSS, it will not make any sense. Okay, so this is basically it for the links. They're really useful. You're gonna use them a lot. And thanks for watching this video. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to another video. And this one we're going to talk about images. I guess we've talked about it before, but I will go in a little bit of detail about it. Okay, so basically the tag image allows you to embed or reserve some space for images on your page. Okay, and you actually know that you already know that images are really important. Okay, they are really important when talking about media, so you're gonna use this one a lot. So basically, to do this, you're gonna type in image, or EMG, just short for image, and we have a lot of attributes to talk about here. First of all, the required one is a source attribute. Okay, press on equal and our double quotes right here. So here we need to define our image in this one. So if we go right here, I have another image which is called pro.gbg right here. So if I go ahead and type it in, pro.gbg, and if I close this one just like this, it's really simple and easy. And let me comment this one out. So just highlight it, control and backslash, sorry. So if I just save again, refresh, you can see but the image is kind of huge right here. So if I go back, and I can set to it a width and a height. Okay, it's just normal attributes. And the width is gonna be like 200, the height, let's give it also 200. Okay, and you can increase this or decrease this at whatever you want. If I refresh this back, we can see that our image is basically right here. Okay, so but what if our image is like in another folder right here? How can we do this? So if I go and create a file right here, let's call this create a folder, let's call this images, and I'm gonna just move this right here. If I were to go and refresh this one, you can see right here this icons, the icon appears that actually shows that we are having a problem showing our image is not found. So yeah, it's not found. So how to basically do this one? Actually showing here that our image pro.jpg is not found in the console. Okay, it's just an error. So how do we get this? We can actually just go right here and move into the folder or navigate through the folder by doing a backslash and the name of the folder, which was images, and just backslash again to just separate the image from the folder name. And if we were to save this and push this back, and we can see that we're actually getting, if let's just remove this, yeah, it's actually happening right here. So this is basically it. We didn't actually need the slash right here in the beginning. So you can see how easy this is. So if we were to go back and do another folder right here, I'm just gonna try a little something. Let's call this parent. Okay, and if we remove, if we get this folder inside of this one and we refresh, you can see that's not showing because we need to get our little folder here again. If we now save this and refresh, and you can see that it's actually getting our image back. So this is basically how to map through folders and get your image, or if it's basically in the same path or in the same directory, you'll just have to write the image name right away. So I hope that makes sense. So we have another, attribute to talk about, which is the alt or the alternative attribute, which actually you can write a text inside it or a message that will pop up when the image is not there. Okay, sometimes it's just the internet is slow and you want to point something out to the user that this image is actually talking about this or describing this, or whatever you want to write here in the alternative text. So if we go, this is my programming image, and if we see this one, can just refresh this. If we now the image is showing right now, so we won't get our alternative text. But if we were to go and just delete these guys right here, which is actually wrong, which will not show the image, and if we were to go refresh this, you can see that the text right here is showing up, telling us what this image is about. Sometimes you'll just use it in slow internet connections, stuff like that. Is actually really SEO friendly. So yeah, this is basically it. And for the width and height, I just want to point out that it's not a good use actually to use them. A better use, if you want to design stuff, you have to use a style attribute. Okay, but I just did those guys here just to save us some time. Okay, so this is basically it for the images. Of course, if you want to add another one, you can just copy this one right here, and we can do a WC. I guess it was, let me just check. Yeah, it was JPG also. If we save this, refresh back, you can see that our second image is right over here. And yeah, if it's inside a folder, you'll have to type it and then slash, as we've seen in this video. So this is basically it. Bye. Hello guys, and what's going on? So in this one we're gonna talk about tables, but before we do that, I just wanna give you some little info about images. You can actually link an image from online, or from an online, from the internet, not just a link on your PC. So to basically do this, you can go to this website right here, placeholder.com, and just like scroll to that down here, and you can like copy this one. This is basically a placeholder, a link for an image, or you can just open it up like this, and you can copy it. And if we go to our last file, and if I go and replace it with this one right here, if I save this, you can see right here, if I refresh, that I have my image right here. We can actually try another one. Let's just scroll down. Yeah, we have like 300 right here. If I copy this and replace, I can just set this to 300. It's basically the same link. You just save. I go back and refresh. Now we have 300 image. Okay, if we inspect it, you can see right here, it's actually, here is the source of the image. All right, sounds great. So now I created another file right here, tables, and we are gonna just go with tables now. So what are basically tables? Tables are basically data containers. That's it. They are just any like any other tables that you will see. Okay, it's just they contain data, or they outline your data. And I wouldn't say I use them a lot, but you might be, who knows. I don't usually or often use them. But let's go and just do an example right here. So to create a table, yeah, you've guessed it, we need the table tag, and of course we need to close it. All right, and now we need a tr, and we're gonna close the tr. The tr basically stands for table row, because every table is just a couple of rows. And right here we need a table head, th, and let's name this one id, and let's close it. And we need another one, another th, basically just a simple table head. Give this name, and we're gonna close this one. This is actually th, and if we just copy this one real quick so I don't use that much time. All right, so basically this is the first table row, and these guys are the table headers. So if I go right now, table tr, another table row, we're gonna close this tr, and I'm gonna just do a little table data ed, and now we need an id. Let's see an id of 1, and let's close this. And if I copy this, control c, control v again. Now gonna keep this name. Yeah, it's actually not a name, we need this as an age. Okay, if we keep this one as my name, you can write whatever name you want, and let's see the age is just 20. And if I copy this whole thing and just paste it right here. Let's say this 2, and this is, let's say, Raj. Yeah, I know you guys. Now let's get this once more. Let's keep this. That's fine, 23 is fine. Let's keep the ID for 3 and the name as, let's say, Sam, and we can keep this one as 24. So this is basically how you create a table. You need this table tag, you need a couple of rows. The first row is the table for the table headers, and the second row is the data, like the third row is also data, and the fourth row is also data right here. Okay, and you can of course create as many table rows as you can. Just keep in mind to keep the number of the table data as the number of the table headers. Okay, but you can create any number you want, but we'll just go with this. Now if I save this and go right here to tables, my file, you can see right here that we have our own table, but it looks pretty ugly, so I'm just gonna design this a little bit. If I go to the table and give it style attribute, I'm gonna keep the width, and this is the width of the element for 100%. And I know that you guys don't know a lot of CSS, but basically this will just keep keep everything will make everything gets its whole width of container. Okay, this is basically it for the width. Just refresh this, you can see that everything now got its own whole container. Okay, if I put this to reset back, but let's just keep it as that. Okay, and now I need to design to give it some borders so it's gonna look a little nicer, and I'm gonna just do this by using the style tag, and this is where we utilize what we've learned in the last videos. And I'm just gonna give the table and TD and TH. Yeah, and you can actually give more than one element the same style. Okay, you'll just have to do your little comma right here, and this is the style we're gonna write right here. It's gonna be affect all these guys. Okay, so it'll affect the TD and the TR. So if I go ahead and give it a border, and a border is basically an outliner, it's a wrapper border. I'm gonna give it style of solid, and I'm gonna give it border size, and this only is gonna be 1 pixel, and also border color green. And if I save this, let's see what we have right here. You can see right here it looks a little nicer. So basically what we did in this video is just creating a table. Alright, and we give the table a whole width, so everything can get its whole width. Okay, because everything that's created, every element that's ever created gets a certain width once it's created. Okay, but we're setting it to get the whole length of it, and we're giving it, like here we're giving a table, and the table data right here, and the table header, we're giving him a border, okay, which is basically an outliner, and we can actually remove all of these three, and we can write the whole thing in one line. I'll just show you this real quick. I hope that you don't get confused, okay, because this is a CS video. 1bx solid green, but we can just, you know, can just leave CSS out. Everything will like just look so ugly. So if we actually remove all these guys right here and save this and refresh, you can see right here nothing actually happens. So we can write all of these just in one line, which actually looks a little bit nicer and smarter. All right, so I hope that makes sense. If you want to like grab another record real quick, give this 4, and let's keep this you know, just Arab name. We give it like 25. If we save this one, we'll just add another more record right here. So basically this is it for tables. I hope that everything makes sense, and see you guys in the next video. So now we are gonna look at another data wrapper, which are lists.